BBC News at midday. Ukraine says it will not slow down its counter-offensive against Russia. After retaking the key city of Kherson from Moscow yesterday, the government said its armed forces would continue regardless of what happens this winter. The Guardian is reporting that civil servants were offered the chance to transfer away from Dominic Raab's department when he returned as the Justice Secretary. He's been accused of bullying members of his team. Allies of Mr. Raab have defended him, saying he has high standards. In America, the Democrats are projected to have won a key Senate election in Arizona. That would take President Biden's party one step closer to keeping control of the chamber. If the Republicans were to win either or both chambers of Congress, they could prevent much of Mr. Biden's agenda. The England rugby team have suffered a dramatic loss in the Women's World Cup final against New Zealand. The Black Ferns edged the match 34-31 in Auckland in front of a record crowd of more than 42,500. That's the BBC News. Now the shipping forecast issued by the Met Office on behalf of the Maritime and Coast Guard Agency 1130 on Saturday the 12th of November. There are warnings of gales in Fitzroy, Seoul, Shannon and Rockall. The general synopsis at 0600, new frontal trough expected, Rockall to Fitzroy by 0600 tomorrow. The area forecast for the next 24 hours. Viking, North Utsira, South Utsira, 40s, Cromarty, 4th. Southerly or southeasterly 4 or 5, occasionally 6 later. Occasional drizzle, fog patches, becoming fog banks later, except in the Utsiras. Moderate or good, occasionally very poor. Tyne, Dogger, south backing southeast later, 4 or 5. Fog patches, becoming fog banks. Moderate or good, occasionally very poor. Fisher, German Bight. Southwest, backing southeast later, 3 or 4, occasionally 5 later. Fog patches, moderate or good, occasionally very poor. Humber, Thames, Dover. South, backing southeast, 3 to 5. Fog patches, moderate or good, occasionally very poor. White, Portland, Plymouth. Southeasterly, 3 to 5, occasionally 6 later in West Plymouth. Fair, good, occasionally poor in White. Biscay, southeast 4 to 6, fair, good. Fitzroy, southerly 4 to 6, increasing 7 or gale 8 for a time in north, occasional rain or showers, good, occasionally poor. Seoul, south 5 to 7, increasing gale 8 for a time, occasional rain or showers, good, occasionally poor. Lundy, Fastnet, Irish Sea. South or southeast 4 to 6, occasionally 7 later in Fastnet, perhaps gale 8 later in Fastnet. Rain or showers later in Fastnet, good, occasionally moderate in Fastnet. Shannon, Rockall, southeast 4 to 6, increasing 6 to gale 8, perhaps severe gale 9 later. Occasional rain or showers, good, occasionally poor. Malin, south 4 to 6, occasionally 7 later, perhaps gale 8 later. Occasional rain, showers later, good, occasionally poor. Hebrides, Bailey, southeast, backing east for a time at first 4 to 6, occasionally 7 later, perhaps gale 8 later. Occasional rain, good, occasionally poor. Fair Isle, Faroes, south 3 or 4, backing east, then veering south or southeast 4 to 6. Occasional rain and fog patches, moderate or good, occasionally very poor. Southeast Iceland, southerly backing easterly or southeasterly 4 to 6, occasionally 7 later in west, perhaps gale 8 later in west. Occasional rain, fog patches, moderate or good, occasionally very poor. And that's the shipping forecast.